Hey everybody. Today I wanted to share with you my bolt action strategy cards. These are homebrewed and they're done in the style of second edition 40K. Second edition 40K was the version right after Rogue Trader, right after the original Warhammer 40K. And it was a narrative style of game, which bolt action really reminds me of. You had in bolt action, you have these examples of heroism. For example, a flamethrower team charging a small tankette and then getting mowed down. And 40K Second Edition had the same thing. For example, an officer who is about to be killed by an alien and then gets pushed out of the way by one of his guardsmen. And I wanted to create something similar for bolt action games that I play. And you can use these cards with your opponent if they are of the same like-mindedness. What I would suggest is you use one card for every 500 points or 1,000 points, depending on how many you want to have in the game. So uh, try them out and see if it fits with your flavor. Let's take a look at them real quick and see what you guys think. All right, so the first card is Heroic Leader. You play this card at any point during your turn. A rallying speech adds +1 to all of your morale and order rolls for 2 rounds. This is going to affect all of your troops. Okay. You might want to play this after you have lots of pin markers on your troops, obviously. Number 2, Friendly Fire Artillery Barrage. A friendly fire artillery barrage hits your enemy's lines for 3 turns. It may also hit you as well. So basically, this is an artillery barrage that has come a little bit too close to your lines. The barrage is randomly placed. You may choose the starting point, and then you're going to roll 6 six-sided dice to see how many inches the template will deviate from the starting point. You'll then roll another d6 for direction, 1 to 2 for north, 3 to 4 for south, 5 east, 6 west. If the artillery barrage is off table, then it's off table. Number 3, Dummy Mines. You place this on a random unit. The unit will think it is in a minefield and all of a sudden panic and slow down. You can slow their movement down to 2 inches for 3 turns. Number 4, Loss of Faith in Ideology. The unit starts to doubt their nation's political motivations. That unit lowers morale -2 permanently. The unit should be randomly chosen. Okay, next we have Cowardly Leader. The enemy commander has sent his men into battle and then enjoyed himself in the rear. Lower all enemy morale for -1 for 3 turns. Number 2, enemy veteran killed. When you cause a casualty on a unit, you have killed the unit's resident veteran, who was a hero to his small squad. This will cause a loss of morale on that unit. Add an extra 3 pin markers on that unit. Poor vehicle maintenance. Play this on an enemy vehicle. That vehicle loses 3 inches of movement permanently, and then every turn roll a d6. On a 1, it will lose an additional 2 more inches that turn. And we have vice versa, Great Mechanic. Add +3 movement to one of your vehicles permanently. They may repair immobilized or turret jams once per game. Additionally, roll d6 each turn. On a 6, you may add +2 more inches for that turn. Next one, Dummy Position. You may cancel the firepower of a random enemy unit for 1 turn, as this represents them firing at a fake dummy position you have set up. Next one, Cigarette Case Pocket Bible. A thick chest pocket object given to one of your officers by a loved one miraculously saves the officer from a bullet. When an officer takes a fatal wound from small arms fire, but not a blast template, you may cancel that one wound with this card. You can also use this card for a regular soldier if you so wish. Sabotaged building. You have placed explosives in a building. The unit in that building will take 2 medium mortar hits and will be down for 2 turns. If there are no buildings present in the game, you may draw another card. Collaborator. A collaborator has told you of the enemy's intentions. You may cancel your enemy's strategy card. Ad hoc equipment. The enemy infantry unit is equipped with captured rifles with limited ammunition, or is using rusty stockpiled weapons or leftover warehoused equipment from the First World War. When you play this card, half of the enemy firepower will be reduced for 2 rounds, rounded up. So, for example, 6 rifle dice will become 3. Starvation rations. The enemy has been on limited rations for a while now. When you play this card, you may lower a randomized enemy's infantry unit by -1 and -2 from any close combat rolls for the rest of the game permanently. Place this card next to the unit to show this. Machine Gun Jam. This is a 2-turn card. Turn 1, you may jam an enemy's machine gun, whether it's LMG, MMG, or HMG. Subtract 3 dice from that MG's firepower for 1 round. In turn 2, it may not fire at all, as it's clearing the jam. The MG will be randomized. Okay, and you can mark that unit as down. Berserk. Play this when a unit suffers 3 or more pin markers. Your unit cracks and gains Fanatic, +2 inch move, +1 to close combat for 2 rounds. Also, pin markers will be removed. After that, they return to normal, but move at -2 for the rest of the game due to exhaustion. Dysentery. Play in the beginning of the game. 2 randomized enemy squads are weakened from dysentery. You'll lower their rank by 1 grade. So elite will become regular, regular will become inexperienced, and inexperienced troops start off with 2 pin markers and become shirkers. If they already have shirkers, then you can add an additional 2 more pins. Extra rations and a good rest. 1 squad of yours is well fed and full of vigor from a good rest and good rations. When you play this card, 3 things happen for 2 rounds. They may move an extra 2 inches. They may add +1 to any assault roll, and +1 to their morale. Suppressive fire. You can cancel an enemy's ambush dice and change it to down. Okay, now is when it starts to get fun. We throw in some aircraft. Light bomber bombing run. You call in support from a light bomber. Think like an ME-110. Place 1 medium mortar template on a randomly chosen infantry unit. 2 more templates can then be added in a straight line from the first template. Place the next template 6 inches and the third template 12 inches from the original template, all in a straight row. You can determine which direction the row goes in. Next, fighter strafing run. One of your fighter aircraft strafes a randomly chosen enemy squad or vehicle, but not an armored fighting vehicle. That unit is hit by 2 LMG and 1 light autocannon. Dive bomber support. You call in support from a dive bomber. Place a heavy artillery template on a randomly chosen enemy unit. You don't need to roll to hit. Tank knocker aircraft. Okay, so there's two types here. 1939 to 1941. Strike one armored fighting vehicle with a heavy artillery template. 1942 to 1945. You call in support from an anti-tank aircraft with autocannons. Strike one vehicle and hit it with two heavy autocannon strikes, and you can strike the rear or the roof of the vehicle. Spy. You may place orders and move two enemy units. However, you may not use them to attack. Ambush. You may deploy two infantry or anti-tank units a further 24 inches from deployment, and they will start out hidden and in ambush mode. Initiative. You may pick and choose the first 4 dice from the bag for either you or your opponent. Infiltrators. Infiltrators or partisans have harassed the rear lines. You're going to delay an enemy infantry unit, and it'll be off table for 2 turns to deal with the partisans. Then you're going to roll a d6 for each soldier that was delayed. On a roll of 6, that soldier was a casualty due to combat with the partisans. NCO Inspiring Speech. You automatically pass a rally test when playing this card with no need to roll, and you may use this card 2 times. So basically 2 free rallies. To me, men, an excellent NCO inspires his squad. Remove all pin markers from a unit. The unit then may move or shoot as normal. So basically they get a bonus action, plus they rally. Traitor. 3 randomized infantry in a randomly chosen enemy infantry squad break off from their squad, and they come under your control. So those 3 infantry will be a very small unit that you control. You can play this at any point. Precise shot. You score 1 hit and 1 penetration without needing to roll. This is most likely going to be used on vehicles, but it could also be used for taking out maybe a character, like an officer. Deserters. This one's similar to Traitor. 4 randomized infantry in a randomly chosen squad start to move off the table to desert. Oh, I skipped over 4 more. Let's just quickly go over those. Tank Fear. Your enemy is in fear of your armor from a prior battle. When your first armored fighting vehicle fires, doesn't need to hit, just fires, a randomly chosen infantry unit will retreat 6 inches. It will go down and gain 3 pin markers. Sniper Ace. Your sniper team may fire twice for 2 turns. If you do not have a sniper, you may draw again. Extra Artillery. Use this at the start of any game to provide 2 free extra medium artillery barrages. They still need to roll to hit, and they fire as regular artillery. And the last card is Tank Ace. You're going to nominate 1 armored vehicle to have an elite crew at no extra cost. If you don't have any vehicles, or you already have elite crew, then you can draw a new card. Alright, so these are my cards. I made these a long time ago. There's a couple typos here and there. You can see them, obviously, and correct them. I hope you find inspiration from these, and you maybe create some of your own. Feel free to share them with me. And if you do play with them, leave a few comments and tell me what happens in your battle. Thanks so much, and please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.